What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's day is blessed. The little vacation, the Christmas vacation, where we are dancing naked in front of trees and whatever they think we are here doing. We just spending time with our family, enjoying ourselves, and they say it's it's a sin, which is from Satan. But you can sin all week, and all year. Don't say nothing about that. None of that is a sin, you know. But remember, y'all, going to that and eating with your family when they only have one, once a year off or whatever, people coming from overseas, that's a horrible thing to do. That's from Satan. Also, what I've noticed, there are a lot of people who avoid other people, they said, They avoid music. There was a lady who said she was a Christian and she avoided music. The music would make her, your music is evil. And when she stopped listening to the music, the evil was over with. It's weird that everything else is evil except what's inside of you. How do you avoid yourself? You just ignore it. Can't see it, be oblivious to it. So I was going to go to Romans 9 again, hop back in there because it's very powerful. It's about Pharaoh, God hardening Pharaoh's heart, which the Christians say he's not allowed to do. God said, I do it to show my power. And they say, forget the power part, forget what's written. We'll say he did this because of this and because of what we think, because we're smarter than God. That's not true. But before this stuff Joyce is talking about today is a kind of a prelude to what we're going to deal with tomorrow here. And this is Joyce saying, teaching people how to put confidence in the flesh. Okay. When you don't have a father like we do, we have God who takes care of us. We have God who's providing for us. Jesus said, look at the flowers. Look at the birds. He said, I'm providing for people that can't provide for themselves. The bird is not clocking in and cashing a check. Okay. God is providing for them. And Satan will come in. Yeah, but he didn't say you just laid in the nest and just give them the... They coming up with something to put flesh on top of it. Okay, so what are the flowers doing, sir? If that's you're gonna get into that. What are they doing? They're not doing anything. He has arrayed them. He's taking care of them, and he's taking care of us. But Joyce says there are opportunities in life that you miss out on because you're a lazy bum, and I'm the rich preacher, and I'm better than everybody. I didn't miss out on nothing, and you guys are missing out. You're not like me. And God is waiting, sitting with his arms crossed, waiting on people to perform in the flesh so he could be all impressed with our sinful flesh and give us a reward, which is satanic. That's not the gospel at all, okay? The thing about her having a father that's Satan is that she has to do everything on her own. And people that do everything on their own get a wonderful reward, riches and prestige. And just like Paul was saying, people are speaking well of you. They hate us and all this thing. The reason why they hate Paul, again, and us is because we admit how sinful we are. They detest that. They don't want that. They want to hide that and call themselves obedient. It's messing their minds up, went back and forth over Brother's page yesterday. He shared what inmates were going through, trashy conditions, stuff all over the place, food being left out, and some guy. And like I say, when people say stuff, I don't say anything if they're not saved. This man led himself to believe that he was saved, and he says, do the crime. That's all he said. So what he's basically is do the crime, do the time, okay? And so I told him, hey, you better hope God don't treat you like that. And he said, why would God do that? I'm not a criminal. He does not, he could not figure this out. It's the same thing. Told him the parable about the rich man who soaked up all that grace and went out and beat people up over his debt. Couldn't figure it out. These men decide to do what they do and they need to pay for it. I said, God could do the same to you, sir. He can't figure it out now. These people are blinded spiritually, okay? So no, God is not skipping over people, not being an influence. These are people that are not connected to the spirit. God gives us stories, okay, to prove this. Look at Joseph. Joseph's not sitting around walking around, and he said, hey, if he was a preacher today, he would. I decided to go to Egypt. I just decided to put myself and lock myself up in the prison. And they did everything. They scream and buck around, and the audience loves it. Again, the more evil it is, the more screams they're going to scream out. But we know that this didn't happen, that this was a plan before Joseph was born to be chosen. His brothers, God hardened their heart to be jealous. That's what he does with spirits, because we know that this could have went different. What if they encouraged Joseph? This could have went anyway. We don't know, you know. So God is doing all this thing spiritually. He's the puppet master, okay? The clay and all this stuff, you know. So, yeah, this is what we have going on here. God being in control to save Egypt. Does God skip over his brothers? Joseph is better? No, Joseph was just called to do his assignment. His brothers had their assignment, and they all learned something, okay? And that's what this is about, us learning something, following with Jesus, okay? This lady has gotten to the point where she doesn't even rely on Scripture anymore. She said, my God will supply all my needs according to his riches and glory. Where's that Scripture at? He didn't say my God will skip over you if doesn't say anything what she's saying. She's reading off a paper instead of reading out of the Bible. And people are not exposing her. They just sitting up listening. Joyce Myers is great, buying her books, listening to everything she's saying, and she's lying to people in an evil manner. What kind of crazy stuff is that? To tell you that God is just sitting around. See, we are going to take this more seriously than the unbeliever would, than the wolf. Okay? Because we're doing bad things all day, and we think we are being skipped over. We tired, we mad, and this and that. You know, we think we getting skipped over all the time and gonna catch a beat down any second. We have a Father who raises us. We have a shepherd who's leading and guiding us. She doesn't have that, so she's wandering around taking care of herself. She better do it right. And she's done, like I say, Satan will load you up when you're doing stuff by yourself and you're relying on God. It pays well. Treason pays well. Look at her life, okay? God makes our walk look bad. Look at Paul's walk. When he was Saul and he was doing things on his own, fancy horses, rich, all of that stuff. Then look at him, look at him after his salvation. Dirty, bummy, walking the streets, always in and out of jail, a problem, okay? So no, God is not skipping over anybody. He's shaping and molding things the way he wants us to go to show his power and his authority. And he is just, and I trust him, okay? I don't feel sad and missed out because I'm not Paul. I get what I get, and I'm grateful for it. I'm learning this. So he knows the thoughts and plans he has for you, plans for good and not evil, to bring you expecting. These are things. Also, be warned of this before I go real quick. There are a group of people now who are reading the Bible like a newspaper, and they say, well, that's out of Jeremiah. That's not for you. You know that's from Satan, because this is God's character towards the people he loves. That's how you read it. Why would God do something for you and not somebody? Well, I seen the homeless person. Look, was the rich man, did he have what was his expected end? Hell. Well, Lazarus in the Bible, he lived a horrible life down here. Not to say that that's what's going to happen to you, but I'm saying, don't look at everything like the way you say. Just like that guy was looking at them criminals like that. And, look at the thief on the cross. He doesn't know how to think like that. He's out of jail, so he's doing better than everybody. He's going to heaven. That's the way the Pharisees thought, and it didn't work the way they thought. So this lady is really evil and demonic to say something like that to somebody, to an audience of people, that God is just going to sit up there with his arms crossed, not help you with anything. This is salvation. It's the whole purpose of salvation, that you need help with your decisions and stuff. Why is he just leaving all that power and influence and just putting it on you with your puny mind and evil self to make the right decisions and reward you for it? It doesn't make any sense, y'all. Be careful, y'all. Y'all be blessed.